Hi there everybody, Ollie here, aka Secret Nimbus here with an episode of Magic 2015. So on my last episode on Friday, I had started the expansion campaign. So taken on the first two jewels of the plane. That's what I'm looking for. And so basically, what I'm going to be doing for this episode is finishing off the campaign, sort of, because I've already actually beaten it. Because I recorded this yesterday. But when I went to render it, it turned out that I'd not actually recorded anything. I think it's because I've been fiddling around with some of the settings for open broadcaster software. Because I've been looking to maybe do some streaming, but I don't think my internet's anywhere near fast enough from what I've seen. But basically, because I fiddled around with some settings in there, it didn't record the episode. So there's like no there's audio of me talking about these two encounters, but there's actually no footage of me doing these. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to retake them on. So you can play it with Garrick's deck, which is quite cool. It gives you the option. You can go back and beat it with your own deck, but I'm going to do it in the spirit as though I'm continuing on. So we're playing some kind of mind breaker here. I forgot to read over the story there. Whoops daisy. If I have to restart for any reason, I will be sure to read over that properly. So I'm thinking of keeping this hand. I've got the 2 land, I've got the rampant growth, and I've got the putrid leech to start off with. So we're going to keep this hand, and then next turn go putrid leech, and then grab myself a green source of mana with the rampant growth, unless I draw into one sooner, of course. So we've got nothing from Grinth, the Mindbreaker, to start off with. Oh, nice, we've got the Golgari Guildgate. So we're going to start with the putrid leech now. Next turn will probably be the Guildgate and the Rampant Growth, just because I won't be able to play the Garrick's Companion with the Golgari Guildgate. If I'd played that first, I probably would have been able to, but I'd rather play the Rampant Growth, get another green source of land so I can harmonise the turn afterwards. So is Grinth going to do anything? I'm trying to remember what this deck involves. So, oh yes, this deck involves a lot of red burn spells and... So let's do that. We'll play a Rampant Growth. So yeah, I want to keep my hand as empty as possible while playing this deck. I want a green source of land, don't I? I do want a black source. No, I have a green source, please. I've already got 2 black sources of land, which is all I need, really. Yeah, basically, with this deck, he uses a lot of forces you to draw a lot of cards, so he can basically do a lot of damage to your face with certain types of burn spells. So I'm going to attack him. Keep myself aggressive. See what he does. So he's got 2 damage go through. And that's the end of my turn. Okay, fair enough. So what's he got with this one? So when Rune Servitor dies, each player draws a card. So yeah, lots of... basically, he forces me to draw a lot of cards. So by the end of this, from what I remember with this encounter, you've got to basically regurgitate your hand as fast as possible. Keep it as empty as you can, which is why Harmonise isn't actually a good card from what I remember in this particular encounter. Although at the moment, he's just playing a lot of creatures, which is not too bad. Like I said, he's got a lot of cards which forces both players to play a lot of cards. So we're going to play Garrick's Companion and a Putrid Leech here. Here we go. So we're going to try and keep my hand as empty as possible at all times, really. So we're going to swing him with the Putrid Leech now. See what he does. So nothing. So he's going to let that 2 damage go through. Interesting. So if I get how much land have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5. So I can play the Garrick's Packlet next turn. I'll give you a nice 4/4 presence on the board. So he's not doing anything at the moment, which is interesting. Nice, got the Putrefy. So this is one of the new cards that's been added in at this stage of the deck. So from what I've heard, basically throughout this campaign, you basically get splashed more and more black. So Putrefy is one of those black coloured spells that get splashed at this stage of the. So we're going to continue. We're going to swing with all 3 of these, and if he decides to block either of these 2, I'm going to pump them up. So he does. So I'm going to pump you up to a 4/4 just so you don't get killed off. So we'll push through 3 damage this turn and kill off both his creatures, and both of us will draw 2 cards. There we go. So we're going to play the forest and then just hit continue. So we're keeping our hand fairly empty at the moment. We've got the Dredge Mangler for next turn, which is quite nice, and then he's playing Runeflare Trap. If an opponent drew 3 or more cards this turn, you may pay 1 red mana rather than Runeflare Trap's mana cost. Deals damage to target player equal to the number of cards in that player's hand. That's not too bad. At least I'm only going to take 3 damage this turn from that one. So this is what... Oh, and he gets to play it again because he's got more of them in his hand, and apparently because I drew 3 cards this turn, he is able to do that twice, which is kind of terrifying. So at least I'm keeping my hand fairly empty, which is the main thing against his deck. So what we got here then? Another Rune Servitor. So what are we going to play this turn? I'm thinking Dredge Mangler, and then also Putrefy his 2/2. Oh wait, I will draw a card, but it'll basically stop him from blocking any of my creatures, which is quite cool. So let's play the Dredge Mangler first. So I would not like to draw a card. Like I said, I'm trying to keep my hand as empty as possible. Then we're going to go into combat, and we're going to attack with all. We're going to Putrefy you. Now we're going to pump up both of the Putrid Leeches. Going to take some damage, but it will mean that it will give us lethal. What's he going to do then? Searing Spear. So he's going to be... Oh, didn't pump... That was the one he didn't get to pump up! Well, that's annoying. I literally just pumped that up, but apparently he managed to get in there first and somehow... so I can play the Forest this turn. Like I said, I'm keeping my hand as empty as possible. So he's down to 2. So if that had 2 additional damage had gone through... So I'm going to try and pump up my Putrid Leech there to stop it being killed off. But he's going to kill it off anyway. That's annoying. Oh, and he's going to kill off my Garruk's Pack Leader. Well, I lose all of my creatures now, apart from the Putrid Leech. Is that good for me? I think so, because he's only got 1... So I've got the perfect amount of damage here. Thank God for that. So we're going to hit continue. We're going to go through the combat phase. Come on, we're going to go through the combat phase and then deal the 2 damage we need to finish off this particular encounter. Phew, first time today, that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Basically, I remembered what I was doing in terms of beating him, so just remember to keep my hat... He didn't get anywhere near the number of... Like, he's got a lot of artifacts in that deck, which basically... so, the mage slumps to the ground in a heap of broken armour with your axe embedded in the shattered breastplate. You feel a heat in your blood and the dark veins rise in your skin. Your head erupts with agonisingly familiar noise, but this time accompanied by Liliana's hideous laughter. Your surroundings seem to scramble and dissolve. The curse is consuming you, eating away at everything but your insatiable hunger. So yeah, basically he was some kind of like mind wizard, and I just kicked his ass. So yeah, he forces you to draw a lot of cards, and you saw a couple of spells there which basically relied upon the number of cards in my hand that he can do damage to my face. Now when he's got all the cards which are basically forcing me to draw cards, it was even more difficult. I got very lucky there and actually managed to beat him first time, but this deck is a lot more tricky. So these last 2 decks revolve a lot around artifacts. So we're playing Garruk Wildspeaker. I'm not playing Garruk Wildspeaker, but this is what he's saying. A low metallic voice calls out behind you and listen more than a whisper. You must return to Innistrad with me. You are cursed. I am a hunter. You wrench your axe from your fallen enemy at your feet. So we're playing this guy. He's like Captain Vronos, and he's got a lot of artifacts. So I don't think this is fast enough. This, however, could work. So we're going to keep this one, as we've got a lot of ramp cards in this particular hand. It'd be nice if we could have rampant growths in this version of Duels 2015, but so he's managed to get one of his artifact lands out this turn, and he's also managed to get out an Ether Spell Bomb, so he can either draw a card or use it to bounce a creature back by paying 1 mana, which is quite cool. So we've either got card draw or bounce, which is nice for him. So we're going to pay the 1 land, and then what we're going to do is next turn we'll pay another forest, and then we'll rampant growth for a black land, I think. So he's playing an Arcane Sanctum, which is a tricoloured land, the new Alara tricoloured lands in this in the expansion campaign. So we're going to play you, and then we're going to rampant growth and pick ourselves a lovely, delicious black land. There we go. Let's grab ourselves a swamp, like so. So next turn we can get a Festerhide board down if we want to. Although I might not want to do that straight away, as I would like to hopefully get its Morbid ability on it, if possible. Might not happen, but... So we've got Court Homunculus here. Gets +1/+1 as long as you control another artifact. That's going to come on as a 2/2, I believe. It is. And what else have we got? We've got Cranial Plating. Equipped creature gets +1/0 for each artifact you control. Attach Cranial Plating. So that requires 2 black land, which I don't think he has right now, thankfully. So we can't equip that, but he does now have a 2/2 on the battlefield. So I'm thinking of playing my Festerhide Boar as a blocker. It won't get pumped up because of the Morbid ability, but I may as well get 1 down, and it's got Trample as well, which is quite nice. So next turn I'll probably be looking to cultivate, I think. So I doubt he's going to swing with just the 2/2 on its own. No, he's not. So we've got Mox Opal, which is a metal craft. So basically, whenever there's three artifacts down, he can add 1 mana of any colour to his mana pool, which is quite cool. So it's basically a very, very useful, and it's 0 cost. So it's basically a really cool land, providing you've got lots and lots of artifacts. So he's now got the 2 black land he needs to equip that, which is kind of terrifying. And that's now an 8/2. So another cranial plating. Wow, that's pretty dangerous, and I don't have my Putrefy out. That's now 16/2. I'm going to have to kill that. Mirror Enforcer, Affinity for Artifacts, we can play that. It's now an 18/2. Well, at least I can kill it off with... Oh, so he decided not to do that. So we're going to play a Bayou this turn, and I think we're going to have to Putrefy here. Let me make sure I select the Court Homunculus, confirm. So that's gone to the graveyard. I think we're going to Rampant Growth here as well. Let's pick out Black Land. Doesn't really matter. I think I'm fairly screwed because I'm fairly sure that he can probably play those 2 cranial platings back onto this Mirror Enforcer instead, which is fairly terrifying. Maybe I should have actually, instead of killing off that Homunculus, I think I should have killed off that Mirror Enforcer, because I could have killed off that Homunculus with my Festerhide Boar. Yeah, that was a mistake. In hindsight, I think the only way I beat this last time was literally just to go like full on aggressive into his face, and I don't think this hand was aggressive enough. So I went down to 2 there, so I'm pretty much dead here. I can block either apparently. Why couldn't I block? Why couldn't I block that? That was weird. Didn't even give me the option. Okay. So I think I'm screwed here. So I'm actually going to restart this. So that was a bad one. We'll write that one off. So this one looks slightly more promising actually, as I've got 2 mana to start off with, I've got 2 Putrefies for dealing with artifacts, and I've got a Dredge Mangler. So start off with the Golgari Guildgate. We'll get the Putrid Leech down next turn. We'll Rampant Growth the turn after that, providing I don't draw into a land. And then we'll get the Dredge Mangler down on turn 4. So we've got an Ancient Den, so it's an artifact land. It's interesting. So basically these artifact lands count towards all his artifact costing, which is crazy. So we've got an artifact worker here, so it comes on as a 1/1. Not too bad. Oh nice, we've got another land, which is always a good thing. So we're going to play the Putrid Leech. That means we can also get the Dredge Mangler down next turn, which is good. And we've got a blocker for this 1/1 as well, so we won't be swinging in with that. Nothing else I can play this turn. Why would I want to pump up a creature to a 4/4 when I can't exactly use it? But I'll never know. So he's got another artifact land down, so another white artifact land. So he decided not to swing in there, and he's playing a Cranial Plating, which is fairly terrifying. Thankfully he won't be able to play it yet. So each quick creature gets +1/0 for each artifact you control. Yeah, that's fairly terrifying. And a Frogmite, Affinity for Artifacts. So basically Affinity, I think, means he can reduce casting costs for the number of what's the word I'm looking for? For the number of artifacts on the field. So because there's 4 artifacts on the field, he basically gets to play these Frogmites for free, which is quite terrifying. So we're going to play a Swamp here, and then I think I'm also going to play a Dredge Mangler. I'm tempted to swing in here and try and kill off some of his artifacts, so let's do that. Let's see if he decides to block at all. If he decides to if he decides to block that with 1 creature, for example, I'm just going to... Nope, he is going to let the 5 damage go through, which is fair enough. I can accept that, so he can swing at me for 5 as well. Thankfully he can't equip this Cranial Plating right now. So he goes an Arcane. So now he can equip it. I thought it... Oh, equip. What's the equip cost? So this is getting terrifying very quick. That is now a 9/2. He's suddenly not swinging in for that much damage. I didn't realise he could actually swing in for that much damage. Oh dear. Oh dear me. So I just took a hell of a lot of damage there, which is not good. At least we could kill it off with the Consumed Strength, which is quite cool. So we're going to go through to combat phase, and I'm going to save my Consumed Strength to kill off that 9/2. We're going to attack with all. Although he can just re-equip it, which is kind of terrifying. So I'm going to consume... So I'm going to boost you and kill off you. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. So at least he can't re-equip that straight away. Although he can now just re-equip it, and I think I've just screwed myself. So yeah, that's a restart. That is not going to go well. That cranial thing is terrifying. The fact that it just boosts up your creature that much. This is not a good starting hand. Neither is that. That is acceptable. Start for the Golgari Guildgate, and we'll play the Bayou next turn. The only reason I've kept this one is because I've got the Child of the Night and the Putrid Leech, so I've got a bit of lifelink from the Child of the Night. As you can see, this is another one of those cards which has been splashed in. Another black card. So he's played a Court Homunculus. This comes on as a 1-1. So I play the Bayou this turn, so we get a Putrid Leech down. The reason I got this one down is because it can act as a blocker to this Court Homunculus, so whereas the Child of the Night cannot. And then we can start cultivating as well, providing we draw into something decent. Would be quite nice to make use of these cultivates. So another Court Homunculus, okay. Do they count as artifacts? They are artifact creatures, so that will come on now as a 2-2. Is he going to swing with it? He is going to swing with it. So I'm going to block. Pause, pump up my creature. Kill off his Court Homunculus, there we go. Goodbye, Court Homunculus. Go screw yourself. I'm going to play the Golgari Guildgate here. There's no point playing the Forest quite yet, as I only want to play the Child of the Night this turn. And now I can swing in with my 2-2. Actually, no, I'm going to skip my attack, and if he decides to swing in with this again, I do have a blocker for it, so... So there comes an artifact land, so that is pumped up to a 2-2. And he decided not to block this turn, knowing that I can just block it again, which is nice. So I'm going to cultivate here, although I do need... I don't just need lands, I need cards, basically. I need card draw with this particular deck. Let's skip my attack here. There's no point swinging in when he can just kill off my creatures, which I do quite need. Yeah, the only way I beat this deck last time was just to get insanely lucky. So he decided not to swing in. And he's starting to run out of creatures, so he's got Sanctum Gargoyle, artifact creature. When it enters the battlefield, you may return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. So just a Court Homunculus. Fair enough, and that's a 2-3 flyer, which is not good. I need some card draw stat. And I'm not getting it, am I? Of course I'm not. I'm just going to keep sifting through. I'm just going to keep reducing the number of basic land cards in my deck. So I can't do anything against that 2-3 flyer, unfortunately. So we can now swing for 2 damage without me being able to do anything. And he's got 4 cards in hand, which is getting more and more terrifying. I need one of my big creatures, really. Just something big. Something that I can do damage to him. So that's 2 damage done to my face. Here comes the other Court Homunculus. Homunculus! Basically a small but well-proportioned creature, I think. And a Mirror Enforcer. Great, so I'm fairly sure I'm not going to do very well now. What have we got here then? Ooh, Spiritmonger. Whenever Spiritmonger deals damage to a creature, put a 1-1 counter on Spiritmonger. Wow, that's going down on the battlefield. That's crazy. That gives me something to do damage to that Mirror Enforcer, which is excellent. And I've got something to swing in with as well. Plus I can regenerate it, which is even more cool. So I'm going to skip my attack there. So while he can still do 2 damage in the air to me, I've now got at least myself a decent blocker, which makes me happy. So we've got here then another Court Homunculus. Wow, he's got a lot of these Court Homunculuses. Those poor little homunculuses being forced to do this Captain Vronos' bidding. So unfortunately he can still swing in the air. Although, is he choosing not to? I can do like 1 more of these. As soon as I've got like 2 of these, I think they'd be pretty alright. So, he just swung him for 2 there. I can't really do anything else until I can start to get rid of some of these creatures. So Harmonise would be quite nice right now to actually draw into some cards. Come on, Harmonise. Putrefy, destroy target artifact or creature. So I'm thinking Mirror Enforcer. So then I can actually swing in with my Spirit Monger. Play the land. Continue. Because I can regenerate this, which is quite cool. So I'm going to attack with you and you. And see what he does. See what he does in terms of blocking. Is he going to block? Come on, block. Pump you up. Sacrifice 2 health. Kill off one of his Court Homunculuses. There we go. So I've done quite a bit of damage to his face there, which is quite nice. He does now have 3 creatures he can swing in with. I'm likely to sacrifice one of my Child of the Nights to kill off a Court Homunculus though. And we've got an artifact land again. What's he going to swing with? Guessing it's just going to be the 2-3. Maybe all 3. He might be willing to sacrifice one of them. Nope, just the 2-3. That's fair enough. That's fine by me. That's the end of his turn. Come on, we're top decking like a pro here. Ooh, I can't play this Dark Hatchling, I don't think. So, because all of these are black, so when Dark Hatchling enters the battlefield, destroy target non-black creature, which I don't think any of these creatures are. They're all black. So I'm just wondering whether or not I can play it or not. I think because I've just played it like that. Oh, choose a non-black creature to destroy. Hell yeah, the flyer. Woo! I didn't realise I could actually destroy... Oh! Right, whenever I've played this before, I've only ever had like my troops. I didn't realise I could actually sacrifice one of his creatures. Oh no, the only other time I played this was when I was playing the black deck. I didn't realise I can use it to destroy one of his creatures. Oh, that makes me insanely happy. So now I have insane board presence, so I'm just going to swing with the 6-6. I don't care. I'm on cloud 9. Cloud 9 right now. I've managed to get rid of his flyer while pulling out a flyer of my own. So he decided to block. It's fair enough. So he's just going to take the 2 damage. Oh wow, yeah. When I do combat damage to a creature, it gets pumped up as well. Fantastic. That's what I like to see. Outstanding. Nice one, Spirit Monger. So you're now 7-7. Poor little homunculus, you can't even swing in. Whew. So I think we've actually... Oh god, Oblivion Ring. Great, so there goes Spirit Monger. So, so this can be destroy target artifact or creature. Fortunately that is not an artifact, that is an enchantment, so I can't destroy that. So I'm just going to block you. So at least I've still got my 3 creatures down, which is not too bad. And we've got an Esper Panorama, which is... So he's totally out now. So we don't need to play any of these lands. We're fine right now. So I'm just going to attack with all. So 3, 5, 7. I don't want to sacrifice any more life right now. I don't need to. Let's just play a Bayou. So he's down to 7. So we've got lethal on the board. So we sacrifice that looking for a land. He's got nothing, basically. Oh, he's got 1 card, sorry. And it didn't do anything, so I think we're alright. Man, how much land is in this deck? It's crazy. Let's see what he does. He's got 1 card in hand. Can it save his life? No, it cannot. So that is the end of the campaign. That is me basically beating it, so there we go. So that is the last two games of the campaign. Hopefully I've recorded them this time, fingers crossed. All I've got left to do now is just finish the Explorer Alara. I have been doing this already, so I think I've got something like 60% of the cards in my collection now. So let's go to card collection. Come on. Yeah, battle boosters, yeah, I know all about that. So Alara, where are you? Alara, 66% of the cards. So literally got a few more of the explore nodes to hit, and then I should have all the cards unlocked. So I think I will be back for Friday Night Magic now, in which I will be playing a green-white token deck, which I had made from before the expansion. I don't think it's going to have changed too much since the expansion, so I'll give that a go. And then next week I'm thinking of putting together some kind of like blue, green, white exalted deck, which should be quite interesting to play, but that will be for a couple of weeks time. So as always guys, don't forget to comment and like if you've enjoyed the episode. Apart from that, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.